for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
All righty. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and have roll call manually, please.
Mayor Coleman,
Present.
Counselor Carson,
Here.
Counselor Krebs. Here. Counselor Jan Vigil,
Here.
Counselor Hensley,
Here.
Counselor Jackie Vigil,
Here.
Counselor Dominguez.
Here.
All counselors present and a quorum has been declared.
Okay, that brings us to the next item on the agenda is the agenda approval. Counselor Jan Vigil.
Mayor, I move that we approve the agenda as presented.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? If not, we're gonna take another verbal roll call.
Brandon's
Nice.
working on it back there.
Okay,
Counselor Jackie Vigil,
Yes.
Counselor Hensley,
Yes.
Mayor Coleman,
yes.
Counselor Jan Vigil,
Yes.
Counselor Krebs. Yes. Counselor Carson,
Yes.
Counselor Dominguez.
Yeah.
The motion carried unanimously.
Okay. That brings us to the next item on the agenda, citizen comments. This is the portion of the agenda to where if we have anyone in the audience who filled out comment cards, you would come up to the podium and make your comments. We do ask that you keep your comments to within 3 minutes. And we also would like the audience to know that we do practice civility here to where we're mindful and thoughtful and respectful of those who are talking. We don't interrupt, we don't clap or cheer because we want everyone to hear what that person is saying. Ms. Martinez, I don't have any comment cards. Do you?
I do not, Mayor.
Okay. So we'll go ahead and go to the Zoom participants. And if you could tell them how to raise their hands.
Oh, if you're on the Zoom app and you'd like to speak right now, you'll use the raise hand feature in the bottom of your screen. If you're on a telephone, you'll dial *9. And Mayor, I don't see anyone raising their hand.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and close the citizen comments part, and we'll move down to ceremonial items. And we have a proclamation that I'm going to read tonight is Suicide Prevention and Awareness Month proclamation. Do we have anyone here in the audience here for this proclamation by any chance, Ms. Martinez, to your knowledge?
I believe so.
Yes,
Yeah,
okay.
from the one
If
red
you all
crown.
can come up here to the podium. Thank you for being here tonight. Usually what we'll do is we'll allow you to say a few brief words. If you have something to say briefly, then we'll read the proclamation. We'll come down there and present the proclamation to you all and take a picture as a group, okay? Okay.
I'm here as a representative of the San Luis Valley Behavioral Health Group. My name is Susan Graham. I'm the supervisor for our emergency services. We are very grateful for the city recognizing the importance of awareness of suicide in our community, and we are happy to participate in helping our community members remain safe and work towards their well-being.
Okay, all right. So thank you all for being here. We'll read the proclamation and we'll come down and present it to you, okay? All right, and we'll take a group picture. Suicide Prevention Awareness Month proclamation. This proclamation proudly designates the month of September as Suicide Prevention and Awareness Month in the city of Alamosa, Colorado. Whereas suicide is a leading cause of death across Colorado and profoundly affects individuals, families, and communities in Alamosa and throughout the San Luis Valley. And whereas rural areas like the San Luis Valley face unique challenges, including isolation, limited access to care, economic stress, cultural stigma that increases suicide risk and reduces help-seeking behavior, help solutions. And whereas every life lost to suicide is one too many, and many suicides are preventable with timely interventions, access to mental health services, and community culture of understanding and support. And whereas San Luis Valley Behavioral Health Group, alongside its partners, work daily to provide crisis services, counseling, peer support, and community education aimed at reducing suicide risk and offering hope to those in need. And whereas reducing the stigma surrounding mental health and suicide is essential so that individuals feel safe and supported to ask for help without fear of shame or judgment. And whereas September is nationally recognized as Prevention and Awareness Month, providing an opportunity to remember those we have lost, support survivors of suicide loss, and reaffirm our commitment to saving lives through education, awareness, and compassionate action. Now, therefore, I, Ty Coleman, Mayor of the City of Alamosa, and our City Council, hereby proclaim September 2025 as Suicide Prevention Awareness Month in Alamosa, and encourages all citizens to educate themselves about suicide warning signs, foster supportive connections, and help break the stigma that prevents too many from seeking the care they need. All right, so we'll come down and present that to you all. Okay, that brings us to the next item on the agenda, consent calendar A, Councilor Yanvio.
Mayor, I move that we approve consent calendar A.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Not, please start voting. There you go.
Counselor Dominguez,
Yes.
the motion carried unanimously.
Thank you, Brandon. Appreciate it. All right. Okay. That brings us to the next item on the agenda, regular business, advisory board appointment to the Homeless Coalition.
So this is to appoint Lisa Lucero, who applied to the Homeless Coalition. She had served on the Homeless Coalition back in February and her term expired in June. She just didn't get her application in time, so she got it in. And since you guys had appointed her earlier in the year, you guys have agreed to do the appointment on the agenda without having to do an interview. So she did not interview. So you guys will just need to do a vote, which I don't have ballots printed for you, but you need to do a vote to appoint her or not to the board.
Can we vote by using our device here? Okay. Oh, Councilor Carson has a question.
I was gonna make a motion to appoint her.
Can they just make the motion?
That'll work. It'll
Okay.
record each member's vote.
Okay.
Okay, Council,
Make a
We'll do that.
motion that we reappoint her.
Second.
we have a motion, second. Any further discussion? If not, please start voting.
Counselor Dominguez?
Yes.
Okay, the motion carried unanimously.
Okay, thank you. That brings us to the next item on the agenda. Second reading and public hearing of ordinance number 2020-25. An ordinance replacing chapter 20. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
You're welcome.
Once again, I do want to go through kind of the highlights of this ordinance change just because it's pretty substantial. It's not every day we replace an entire chapter in our municipal code. So a lot of our chapter 20 is outdated. It's piecemealed and it's really hard to make heads or tails in certain situations. And so, all the public works folks really got together and figured out, okay, these are where our gaps are, and let's try to address them. The other thing is with the adoption of Colorado House Bill 25-1077, there are some different requirements for backflow prevention. So that kind of helped give us the rest of the initiative to get this done. So the major changes are updating the entire structure and reorganizing it, updating many definitions and roles for clarity and consistency. One place might use superintendent and then the other one says public works director, and it just gets really confusing. One of the more important changes we made was service line instead of building sewer, again, just to be a little bit more intuitive. Clarifying that curb stop valves are specifically not allowed to be exercised without either a city employee or somebody who's authorized to do it. We do have a lot of issues with folks who do it, and then it causes issues to the system. Clarifying exactly where the maintenance responsibility lies with as far as like the service line versus the city's line. Again, a lot of this stuff is already in there. It's just, it's very vague and it's not very explicit. Making a prohibition using well water that ties into our municipal system because it has the chance to bring different contaminants and kind of mess up our water wastewater treatment process. We do have the exemption though. If you are using it for irrigation, that's cool. This is probably the big one, and again, I'll circle back to it about the tap fees discussion. Making it explicit kind of our regular policy that we require annexation to get city utilities, and also building in just what happens if, it makes sense, but it's not eligible. So having an off-ramp built in. Making our stormwater regulations different from our sanitary sewer regulations because they're very different systems, but currently they're all kind of weaved together in a way that doesn't make sense. Updating our solid waste section to reflect the services that we provide, like green waste collection, which wasn't in there in the way that we do it currently, as well as offering the smaller size containers. That wasn't really in there except in the fee schedule. And then updating the backflow prevention regulations. One of the nice things about this is it no longer requires like single family homes who have irrigation systems to submit backflow prevention tests to the city every year, because that was pretty onerous. Again, we did want to highlight the substantial change, which is to the tap fees. And really, these haven't been changed since 2007. And, what that has kind of created is a situation where the ratepayers are subsidizing the cost of the taps because the materials are substantially more expensive than that. What we also tried to do is separate out two distinct type of meters that are typically found. So one's inside the building, one is outside the building, and they just have different materials, and so they have different costs. And I think that's really the highlight of it. Again, this is that new fee is really just only intended to cover what the costs are. We did provide a full accounting of all those bits and bobs that go into it. It does include both the labor and materials. So, if there's discussion about that, that can be something that's changed as well.
Okay, so if you still have any more comments before I open it up for a public hearing, and then I'll bring it back to council?
Thanks.
Okay, all right. So I'm gonna go ahead and open up the public hearing now for the second reading of ordinance number 2025, replacing chapter 20. If we have anyone in the audience right now who would like to make any comments pertaining to this ordinance, please feel free to come up to the podium and do so. Okay, I don't see anyone in the audience, so Ms. Martinez, will you please give the Zoom participants instructions of how to raise their hand?
Yes, sir. If you're on the Zoom app and you want to speak for this public hearing, you'll use the raise hand feature in the bottom of your screen. If you're on a telephone, you're going to dial *9. Mayor, I don't see anyone raising their hand.
Okay, good. So I'll go ahead and close the public hearing and bring it back to council. Council Carson?
I'll go ahead and make a motion that we, I lost the ordinance number, that we approved, ordinance 20-2025
I'll
on
second.
second reading.
Okay,
I'll second.
okay, we got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? If not, please start voting. Okay,
Counselor Dominguez?
Yes.
The motion carried unanimously.
all right, thank you. Great job. It brings us to the next item on the agenda. Public hearing and second reading for ordinance number 19-2025, amending procedures for municipal traffic infractions.
Thank you, Mayor. This is what I would call a bit of a cleanup ordinance to our adoption of the model traffic code. The model traffic code, as you know, is a uniform traffic code throughout the state of Colorado that each jurisdiction can modify as it sees fit, and then have that modification approved by the Colorado Department of Transportation. We adopt the model traffic code through section 19-23 of our Code of Ordinances, and that section contains a number of amendments that are specific to Alamosa, including some of our diagonal parking regulations, our speed limits within public parking lots, like our big parking lot out there by City Market and that whole complex of businesses out there. And one of the sections we can add and delete, one of the sections that we deleted was a section on penalties and procedures, which most municipalities do delete, but it came up that in doing that, we had an open question as to whether the Colorado rules of municipal court procedure would apply to traffic infractions, or whether the Colorado rules of traffic infractions would apply to traffic infractions brought in municipal court. And so this ordinance makes clear that the Colorado municipal court rules of procedure apply to trials of traffic matters brought in municipal court. That's the main thing that it does. Also clarifies that restitution may be available. And I will say, and would ask that whoever makes a motion, if it's a motion for approving the ordinance, I've picked up a typo as I was reading through it in subsection 3D, I'm sorry, it's, oh no, it is 3C. In subsection 3C, the ordinance provides any person convicted of a traffic infraction shall be required to pay restitution as required by Article 18.5 of Title 16. I would prefer that that read may be required to pay restitution, because there are all different kinds of circumstances that may come into play in any individual case. Other than that, I think the ordinance is ready for your consideration after public hearing.
Okay, thank you so very much for that summary. We're gonna now open up the public hearing and second reading for ordinance number 19-2025, amending procedures for municipal traffic infractions. If we have anyone in the audience right now who would like to make any comments regarding this ordinance, please feel free to come up to the podium and state your comments. Okay. I don't see anyone coming up to the podium, so I'll go ahead and go to the Zoom participants, Ms. Martinez. If you can give them instructions of how to raise their hands.
Yes, sir. If you're on the Zoom app and you want to speak for this public hearing, you'll use the raise hand feature in the bottom of your screen. If you're on a telephone, you're going to dial *9. Hey, Mayor, it doesn't look like our participants are choosing to raise their hand.
Okay, all right, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing and open it up to council for comments or to make a motion with the corrections that our city attorney recommended. Councilor Hensley.
I'll go ahead and move that we adopt ordinance number 19-2025 as presented with the change that our attorney has mentioned that changes the word shall to may.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion, second. Any further discussion?
Does that need to be
Is that good enough?
clarified in the
Is that good
subsection?
enough?
Yeah, I'm sorry, that's fine.
Okay. We have a motion, a second. Any further discussion? Okay. Start voting.
Counselor Dominguez,
Yes.
the motion carried unanimously.
All right, thank you. That brings us to the next item on the agenda tonight, regular business committee report. Do we have any committee reports tonight? Counselor Jackie V. Hill and then Counselor Hensley and Counselor Carson. Counselor Jackie V. Hill?
So we had, lead this past Monday and, they talked about having more referrals, assessments that have increased. They had, some during the summer, but seems to be increasing. And, they're liking the fact that they're getting, referrals from Monte Vista PD, Center PD, as well as Alamosa PD. They mentioned the transition is going well, and I believe it happens in January, correct? That's it.
Thank you, Counselor Jackie V. Hill. Counselor Hensley?
Alrighty, so we'll start off with the tree board. At the tree board, kind of a short meeting, though kind of excited. The inventory of all our trees has been completed. And so that hadn't been done for a little bit. So we now know what trees we have, which is awesome. Then I had marketing board visit Alamosa. And just, I think the main thing from there is, as we're getting near the end of the summer, is that hotel rates are down, but occupancy is up. So basically on par with last year. So obviously when that type of thing happens, it makes the rates go down. So it kind of evened out. And then I had Main Street Board. And some of the key things there, first of all, the Art Fest downtown was a huge success. Definitely a fantastic thing having it on San Juan. It helped a lot of the Main Street business and the traffic. So super, everybody downtown was super grateful. And I think it was a great positive move. The other one is Valleywide are doing tours. Fridays at 2. It's a limit of 10 people every Friday at 2 to check out their new site, which is at the court building. And you can register at their website.
Thank you, Counselor Hensley. No more. Okay. All right, so we'll go ahead and go to our regular business staff announcements.
Thank you, Mayor. We do have a few. I want to thank Counselor Hensley on the update for the Arts Fest. That was a lot of activities. It started with installation of the new outdoor art pieces on Friday. And to that degree, I really want to extend a thank you to our street crew and Jasmine. It's a lot of work that goes into that. And then Friday night, we capped off the day with the artist reception. And so it was the public's opportunity and the artist's opportunity to meet each other. And it was the artists that are both showcasing their work outdoor as well as the artists participating in the art walk on Saturday. And then Mayor Coleman was able to issue the award and for the patron of the arts, and that went to Owen Woods. And so watching Owen's face, because his employer maybe knew it was coming, so they assigned the story to him, and it was a surprise. So it was a neat event. And then Saturday, the weather kind of scared us a bit, but Everyone showed up and in addition to the businesses, we got a lot of positive feedback from the artists. And again, I want to thank Jasmine and our streets crews and Dalton for dropping off the tables and chairs and things at different places, as well as our Alamosa Creates team. There was a lot of volunteers there that day to man the booth and to help the artist and all of that. So even though the art walk extends probably close to 20 years, and then we kind of incorporated it as a city and try to make it bigger. I think this first year of Alamosa Creates kind of getting their fingers on it, you could definitely see the improvement. And so that was really, really great. This Saturday, Counselor Carson and I will be at the farmer's market from 10 to 12. So we invite everyone to make their way to our tent and keep us company. And then on the 25th at 5:30, Visit Alamosa is hosting their public strategic planning workshop. And so this is really to try to guide what our community wants from a visitor's perspective, and is a great opportunity to provide that input. And then finally, we have the CML district meeting on the 30th, which will be held in Center at 5 o'clock. So just a few things coming up before your next official meeting, your next regular meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, that brings us to the last item before executive session is council comments. Do we have any council comments? Councilor Cripps.
Thank you, Mayor. And I'm just going to echo what Councilor Hensley and Heather have said. It was an amazing day, and I look forward to helping this committee with taking it one step further next year and making it even bigger and even better. And this was, and as a little bit of background, doing this event also gives us a little bit more meat in the application to the state about how we're already doing what they're asking us to do. So we should be able to successfully apply to become an arts district. So thank you for everyone who attends.
Thank you, Councilor Cripps. And then I'll just wrap up this segment. Make sure, Jamie, okay. I too would like to thank everyone who participated this weekend with the Art Fest celebration, Art Walk. Councilor Cripps showed up there, helped me out in the presentation. Jasmine did a wonderful job creating a lot of the good key talking points to make sure that we included everyone who participated. Ms. Sanchez and her family were helping set up and tear down stuff all weekend long too. So it was a collaborative effort. I really thank everyone for being out there. The one thing I just want to add to what everybody's already said. During those celebrations, the artists who come over from all around different parts of the country, they came up to me and they were really grateful and appreciative for what our city does for them. They tell me many stories of how they go to other communities and they're not received as well as they're received here, are treated with the amenities and the foods and the celebrations that we give. And they just want us to know that they appreciate us acknowledging them. So thank you to the City Council as well as staff for everything that you do to help make that festivity happen. Okay, that's all I have right now. So we're gonna go ahead, and I think we have to make a motion to go into an executive session, right? Okay, Councilor Yanvio.
Mayor, I move that we go into executive session pursuant to CRS 24-6-4024A to discuss the acquisition of real property.
I'll second.
We have a motion, a second. Any comments? If not, please start voting.
Counselor Dominguez?
Yes.
So,
The motion carried unanimously.
so is this the time, since we haven't had one of these in a while, do I have to say that we'll go into an executive session and no further business will be discussed?
Correct. When we come out, we will close the meeting, but there is no further business.
Further business, okay? Thank you.